Are you craving a trip on Space Mountain? Well, we've got the next best thing. Welcome to Disney Coast to Coast.
Hey folks, and welcome to Disney Coast to Coast, the ultimate unofficial Disney fan podcast. I'm Jeff DePauli, and today on the show, I pose one not-so-simple question to Disney travel advisors. What's the biggest mistake a person can make when planning their first Disney vacation? Answering the question are experts from Touring Plans, Adventurers Out There Travel, Glass Slipper Concierge, The Magic for Less Travel, Travel Leaders, Undercover Tourist, Upon a Star Travel and Concierge, and World of Wonder Vacations, with many years of experience among them. Whether you're a first-time Disney vacationer, visiting a specific Disney resort for the first time, or have been going on Disney vacations for years, you're sure to learn some good nuggets of information. Their answers are coming your way right after this. Did you know that there are exclusive episodes of Disney Coast to Coast over at DisneyCoastToCoast.com that you won't find in your podcast feed? It's true. I've put together some exclusive compilation episodes of the show that you're sure to love. One of them is called Lending Their Voices, where I have conversations with a bunch of voiceover artists you've heard in various Disney projects. Listen to the stories from Bill Farmer as he discusses what it's been like to be the voice of Goofy and Pluto for over 30 years. Then there's Daniel Ross, who's been performing the role of Donald Duck for just a few years over on Disney Junior. I also chat with Vanessa Marshall, who you may have heard on numerous Disney video games, as well as Star Wars animated series and the Guardians of the Galaxy animated series where she performs the role of Gamora. Adam MacArthur can be heard as one of the starring roles on Star vs. the Forces of Evil, Bradley Pierce is the voice of Chip in the animated classic Beauty and the Beast, Gillian Rose Reed visits from Elena of Avalor, and Laura Dickinson shares stories from Phineas and Ferb, Sophia the First, and more. All of these great guests can be heard in one jam-packed exclusive episode of Disney Coast to Coast over at DisneyCoastToCoast.com. Just visit DisneyCoastToCoast.com and click on Exclusive to get this special episode along with 4 others. You can read all about those other episodes by visiting DisneyCoastToCoast.com and clicking on Exclusive.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it's time for Disney Listicle.
First up, answering today's question is Justin from Adventurers Out There Travel. I really like what Justin has to say about building anticipation. To me, anticipation is oftentimes as exciting and sometimes even more exciting than the actual vacation, goal, or whatever it is you may be anticipating. Take it away, Justin.
Hi everyone, I'm Justin with Adventurers Out There Travel. Thank you, Jeff, for giving all of the travel advisors this opportunity to share your platform. And to your community, thank you very much for giving all of us your time. Jeff reached out to us and asked us to respond to one question. What's the biggest mistake a person can make when planning their first Disney vacation? First, planning a Disney vacation, it's actually a multi-billion-dollar industry. There are all kinds of resources out there to plan, as most of your audience probably already knows. There's books, there's vlogs, there's blogs, there's travel agencies. It's just endless resources to plan a Disney vacation. That's any Disney destination. And it has morphed into a culture. And Disney has embraced this. There's the media days, and they don't shy away from the free advertising that a lot of the vloggers provide them. So the planning resources are literally endless for everyone, not just first timers. Planning for a Disney vacation is tough. I'm sure that a lot of people have seen the entertaining memes out there. I say entertaining instead of hilarious because planning for a Walt Disney World vacation is almost like a tactical plan of sorts. So the problem there is that it's easy to make mistakes. Most of the mistakes anyone could make are around timelines, over planning, and basic misconceptions. And keeping up with the changes or evolution of the parks can be a part-time job in itself. So Jeff, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to give you 2 of two mistakes I think that, especially first timers. So I apologize, Jeff. The shameless plug. The first one is to use a professional, caring travel advisor. Make sure that travel advisor is professional, up to date, current, sharing information. Make sure you work with a travel advisor that is both professional and caring. They are really taking the time to learn about each member of your family, what they're into, the heights. There's a lot of things that fall into that caring part. Another biggest mistake, and again, both of these can be for first-time travelers and people that go. I have clients that go multiple times a year. The second mistake that I see people making is not taking the months beforehand to build anticipation or excitement for their upcoming trip. You can actually start your vacation months in advance. As I mentioned before, planning for Walt Disney World vacation is a multi-billion-dollar industry, especially with Disney Plus now. You can get in there and watch some of the Disney classics, some of the Disney shorts. A couple of my favorite characters are Chip and Dale. And if you go back and look at some of those shorts, you can actually, like their interactions in the parks, which will likely change moving forward with COVID, but it was very playful and entertaining interactions, and you can get some of that from those videos, from those shorts from the past. The classic videos. I have a young daughter, 6-year-old daughter. She's into the princesses, so we're watching Snow White and Sleeping Beauty and those videos. As we move towards going to our next trip, we break those out. My son, Peter Pan. So those are things a family could do together as they build anticipation and excitement for their upcoming trip. Another one of my favorites, and one that I recommend to clients, is hopping on YouTube and checking out the resort that they are going to be staying at, building up excitement about the resort in itself, or a resort you're going to visit, maybe on a slow day or something. That's an overlooked aspect that can be used to build anticipation and excitement for an upcoming trip. So to recap here, two biggest mistakes I see people making is not using a travel advisor and not starting their vacation months before they actually travel. To draw out the excitement, the fun as a family for that vacation, that's maximizing the value of your Disney dollars. Those are my two biggest mistakes. Jeff, thanks again for sharing your time, your platform with all of the other travel advisors and myself. If anyone is interested in finding me, you can look me up on our travel agency's website. That's aiottravel.com. My wife and I also have a Facebook page. Our page is called Adventures by Educators. So feel free to look us up, drop me a line there. Thanks again, Jeff.
Next up is Fred from touringplans.com, where he talks about the pitfalls of overplanning and underplanning and how important it is to find that happy medium.
Hi, this is Fred from touringplans.com. Thanks for the question, Jeff. It's a great one. So what's the biggest mistake a person can make when planning their first Disney vacation? So I've thought about this a lot, and my response would be this. The mistake is making an unbalanced plan. And here's what I mean by that. So think about the level of planning that you put into a Disney vacation. Think of it as a spectrum. So on one end of the spectrum, you've got the park commandos. Right. So, for example, this would be a mom. She subscribes to touringplans.com 2 years in advance. She's read every blog. She's listened to every podcast, read every guidebook, and planned out every single minute of their 7-day trip. Right. She knows all the details. She knows all the parks and all the attractions. She's got it down. The plan is to go to a different park on every day. They're going to do long days with no breaks in between. We're going to sacrifice all adult entertainment for the sake of the kids, right? The attitude that we're going on this Disney trip, by God, we're going to nail it. We're going to go there. We're going to do everything that we got to see, and we're going to come out on the other side having survived it all. So that's kind of the one extreme. On the other extreme, you've got the no plan, right? So these are, dads that subscribe 2 days before the trip, and they say, look, we're leaving in 2 days. What do we need to know? This is the kind of, we're going to Disney. We're just going to go and figure it out when we get there. Let's just book it and get there. It'll all work out. The problem with this kind of a plan is that these types of people end up being overwhelmed by the size and scope of the resorts when they get there, right? I mean, you need some kind of a base from which to draw. You need to learn something about, this wonderful place that you're going. The problem here is that often you'll ask these people a question like, what's your plan for your fast passes? And they say, what's a fast pass? And now like they're in trouble. So this is a mistake too. The only way that the no plan can work is if you have an unlimited or a very large budget. And then in that case, well, that's fine. We can hire VIPs, we can take tours of the parks. You can figure it out. But in general, it's not a good approach. And here's why. For the park commandos, the problem with over planning is that it kind of goes against the very idea of traveling in general, right? I mean, when you think about what traveling is, it's about leaving the comfort of your own home and challenging yourself to experience a new place that you just don't know. It's about going there and kind of, letting the experience of this place, get into your mind and taking it all in. So if you over plan it, it's just, the problem is it's just impossible to plan for everything, right? Because I mean, traveling is just, all of us that travel a lot, we know it's just full of surprises. I mean, your plane is late, your luggage doesn't arrive, the hotel's not ready, the weather's not what you expected. There's so many things that can go wrong on a trip that if you over plan, you're just bound to be disappointed because it's just not possible to plan out every minute and have it go perfectly according to plan. So I think it's a mistake to plan too much. But the no plan is also a mistake because these Disney resorts are just such huge places. They're complex systems. They act like large cities. I mean, imagine just knowing nothing about New York City and just driving, down Fifth Avenue or something, expecting to just find a hotel. Like it's a nightmare, right? I mean, you have to know at least a little bit about this place that you're going before you go. Another thing that happens to the no plan people is that they're overwhelmed by the amount of walking that they have to do, by the amount of waiting that they have to do. And, they go in with this idea that they that they don't want to plan because they want to kind of let the spontaneity of it all just, take over their trip. But the problem that you find with letting the spontaneity take over is that usually ends up in frustration and wasted time and wasted money. Because, like I said, you just need to go in with a minimum amount of knowledge, at least, preferably a lot more than just a minimum. So what we usually tell people at Touring Plans is to try to find some balance in between those two. Don't go in completely blind and just hoping to wing it, but also don't overplan either. You've got to find some kind of middle ground. And this is the middle ground that a lot of experienced travelers end up finding. So the way we typically recommend people go about that is to go ahead and plan as if you were going to do a park commando type trip. So go ahead and learn as much as you can. Go ahead. That's great. That's all good knowledge that you can use. However, balance that with lots of flexibility in the plan that you ultimately make. Give yourself lots of gaps for breaks, for unknowns, for, give yourself the flexibility to move days around when you're there as much as possible, right? So make that detailed plan that covers everything that you want to see, but then take a break from it. Take a week or two and don't think about it and don't look at it, and then come back to it with a fresh set of eyes and ask yourself, is this really a realistic plan? Can we actually do all of this? And what happens if we don't? Where is the flexibility in this plan that's going to allow us to react to whatever happens while we're there? Because ultimately, I mean, we've all been through this. You've got the whole week planned out, and today's the day you're supposed to go to Animal Kingdom, and little Johnny is complaining about sore feet, and Grandpa's frustrated about the parking, and it's just you're just not feeling it, and you just know that this is going to be a rough day. We're just not in the mood to go back to this park. Well, you have to be able to recognize that and say, you know what, let's push back today's plan another day. Let's take our rest day today. Let's hang out by the pool. We'll sip margaritas and we'll just take a day off, and then we'll go in fresh the day after. I mean, this is what a true Disney trip should look like. It should have a reasonable amount of planning and knowledge about what you're getting into, with the flexibility to adjust from whatever you see. So that would be my advice. I hope that's helpful, guys. Thanks so much for having me on. Once again, this is Fred from touringplans.com, and we'll see you in the parks.
Like Fred, a lot of the Disney advisors had suggestions about planning too much, too little, and so on. These next several Disney advisors will be sharing their thoughts about what goes into planning a Disney vacation.
Hi, I'm Amy from Undercover Tourist. The biggest mistake a person can make when planning their first Disney vacation is not doing enough research and advanced planning. We'll get into the details more, but here are the biggest mistakes we see. Not saving money on tickets, not using a crowd calendar to plan when to visit, not using Fastpass, not using a park plan, and not making advanced dining reservations. With a little research, you'll be able to save hundreds of dollars, find the perfect hotel, and also learn how to be efficient with time. Who wouldn't want to get the best Disney experience and the most vacation fun for their money? I spend many days in the theme parks and talking to other park guests. I have to say, it really makes me sad when I hear that people started their day spending an hour in line to pay full price for tickets. They could have skipped that ticket line and gone straight to the gate with our tickets and saved hundreds of dollars. That's a lot of snack and souvenir money left over. And nobody wants to start their day by standing in line and spending money. We want people to have stress-free fun. People also tell me how they missed out on really great rides, shows, or special dining experiences because they did not even know about them in advance or know how early they needed to get reservations. Maybe they stood in ride and food lines all day because they were not aware of all the tools to skip the lines. These include Extra Magic Hour, Mobile Order, Fastpass, Single Rider, Helpful Apps, and knowing the best times to ride certain rides with the shortest wait times. We have so many helpful blog posts at undercovertourist.com. That way readers can easily learn these insider tips and maximize time to get the most out of their Disney vacation. And it's all free. You don't have to pay money to learn about planning a Disney vacation. You just have to follow some simple free advice from our experts. It means the difference between saying, I wish we had known about that experience, and I'm so glad we got to do that incredible experience. Our crowd calendars are another helpful tool. These calendars can help people making their first Disney vacation find the best time to visit. Ideally, you want long park hours, all the entertainment, and the least amount of people with the best likely weather, right? We can help with that. The amount of planning you need for Walt Disney World versus Disneyland definitely varies per resort. Disney World is a much larger property in Florida. It has 4 parks, 2 water parks, and over 25 hotels. Staying on property gives parkgoers an edge in scoring better dining and Fastpass reservations because they can book before other guests. Naturally, you need to start planning much further in advance at Disney World to get it all in. Walt Disney World resort guests can make Fastpass reservations up to 60 days in advance of check-in for their whole vacation, whereas other guests can reserve Fastpasses only 30 days in advance. Disney World hotel guests can also get some other valuable perks. These include free airport transportation, free magic bands, and advanced dining reservations up to 180 days in advance of check-in for the length of stay. People might think that a Disney property is out of their budget, but there are hotels for every budget. Learning how Disney World Resort hotels have money-saving and time-saving benefits can help shoppers compare the cost of an off-site hotel versus staying on property. Ultimately, they can make an informed decision that works best for them with no regrets. If people are still unsure about choosing a hotel, our YouTube channel offers a variety of hotel tours for a fun and new way to help people make that decision. Undercover Tourist helps people find the best prices on Disney World tickets and also learn tips to save money on other aspects of their trip. For example, if you're visiting Disney World, you'll want to get those on-ride photos and PhotoPass professional photos taken with and without characters around the parks. But if you purchase a photo package in advance, you'll save over waiting until you arrive. I love Disney food and snacks. I could talk about it all day, but I won't. Instead, we have many blog posts on the best restaurants, snacks, and even quick meals for eating on the go. So definitely check those out. Let's hop over to Disneyland in Southern California. Disneyland is a much smaller property with 2 theme parks and 3 hotels, all within walking distance from each other. But there's a ton to do in that smaller footprint. Disneyland dining reservations open up a little later than Disney World at 60 days in advance. And Fastpass works differently because you can only collect Fastpasses once you have entered the park for the day. So there is less advanced planning at Disneyland. It's more of a first-come, first-served basis, which works really well for that park. But that also means you'll want to know how important it is to arrive as early as you can at Disneyland to maximize your day. Both Disney World and Disneyland offer a hotel guest extra magic hour. That means one park opens an hour early for hotel guests each day. Knowing that schedule can help you in planning your itinerary. When planning for Disneyland, you definitely want to learn about MaxPass. We always offer tips for saving money at Disneyland, but MaxPass is one area we recommend spending a little more. It's such an important tool for saving time. Yeah, it adds $20 to your ticket cost, but in this case, the add-on is totally worth it. MaxPass allows you to reserve Fastpass from your smartphone from anywhere once you have entered a park for the day. That saves steps and helps you get more rides in each day. If you are interested in PhotoPass, and you should be, MaxPass will actually save you a lot of money because the service comes with unlimited photo downloads. MaxPass pretty much pays for itself if you were to download about 1 photo per day. Undercover Tourist sells discount Disneyland tickets preloaded with MaxPass. That helps you save time heading straight to the park turnstiles and begin booking your first ride and shows as soon as you enter the park. If you are familiar with one Disney resort, but are taking your first Disney trip to the other coast, you'll definitely need to do some research before you visit. That's why we recently created 2 fun blog posts, the Disneyland Fan Guide to Disney World and the Disney World Fan Guide to Disneyland. This helps veteran Disney lovers looking to visit the other coasts to find out specifically what is different about these resorts. And it puts on their radar the exact information they might not even know to look into in the first place. For example, the different ways Fastpass works, knowing whether to get a park hopper or a 1 park per day ticket, which rides are unique to each park, and how similar rides can differ between the parks. People should know the different time frames for making reservations, how much time you need to budget for getting around the resorts, and how meeting characters may differ from the other resort. Doing a little research can also tell you which fast passes are a priority at each park. That way you know to get them early. You can learn how to get fast passes for shows. You can also discover the best places to watch parades and fireworks. Following a touring plan can help ensure that you will hit all your must-do rides and experiences. When you visit a new park, it helps to follow a solid plan. While I love a little spontaneity and flexibility in my Disney day, now more than ever, it's important to start off with a plan to get priority attractions in. We provide all the park plans and advice people need to make the most magical vacation ever. We also know readers have a lot of questions about wearing masks in the parks and staying healthy, and we have tips for that too. I also want to talk for a second about special needs such as disabilities for both Disney World and Disneyland. Families who are traveling with special needs have unique concerns about planning a vacation. They especially need to research so they know what to expect and what resort services are available to support them, because there is a lot of support there. You just have to ask. We know that travel is much more challenging for these families. We aim to help them experience a better and safer trip with less stress or worrying and more fun. Check out the Undercover Tourist site for many blog posts on planning a Disney vacation with special needs. Watching videos on our YouTube channel is a great way for concerned parents to screen rides and shows and find the most appropriate ones for their family. So my greatest advice is, don't make the mistake of showing up to Disney World or Disneyland without doing your research. All the information you need to make a smooth and affordable trip is free on the Undercover Tourist site and YouTube channel. Plus, we have many more tips and little details that will make your trip extra special. Whether your family is into princesses, Star Wars, Marvel, thrill rides, activities for toddlers, meeting characters, or even finding the best snacks, we have a blog post or video that will help you find these experiences and wow your family. We receive so much positive feedback from our readers. They love the help we provide in giving them all the planning tools they need to create the best Disney experience. We even have a free Disney World and Orlando planning app with many organizational tools in one spot for saving time and, my personal favorite, skipping the lines. That's why Undercover Tourist is the trusted name in theme park tickets for over 20 years. We offer the same exact tickets to the theme parks you know and love for less, with no catch. Right now, you can save up to $144 on Disneyland and Walt Disney World tickets. Think of the savings for a family of 4. We offer physical or e-tickets. There are no hidden fees. You pay what you see. And we have flexible return policies with friendly, knowledgeable agents. Check us out at undercovertourist.com for great ticket and hotel savings, along with our popular crowd calendar, free park plans, blog, and more.
Hi, I'm Teresa Thomas from World of Wonder Vacations. I think the biggest mistake for first-timers is trying to cram too much into a short period of time. Disney is a big place with a lot to offer, but it's important to be realistic with the amount of time that you have. Don't try and pack in too many rides and too many activities. You don't want to burn yourself out on your first trip to Disney. If you push too hard, you're going to get tired. Disney's usually hot. There's a lot of walking. Disney is an expensive vacation, and you do want to do and see as much as you can, but you still want to enjoy your vacation. If you overstress and overplan and try and do too much, You're going to come back from your vacation needing a vacation. Ideally, try and plan in an extra day or two to relax. And this can give you time to see what else Disney has to offer, like mini golf, fishing, shopping at Disney Springs, carriage rides, kayaks, and a lot of other things that most guests don't know are an option. So don't try and do too much during your first trip to Disney. Here at World of Wonder, we bring the wow factor to your vacation. We specialize in all Disney destinations, especially Disney World, cruises, and Hawaii. We're also experts in Universal Studios, as well as all-inclusive Caribbean vacations. We'd love to help you plan your next amazing vacation. Contact us at worldofwondervacations.com and say you heard about us on Disney Coast to Coast.
Hi, this is Jennifer Coslow with Glass Slipper Concierge. I think one of the biggest mistakes that a first-time traveler to Walt Disney World can make is trying to do too much the first time around. As we all know, there are a million great things to see and do at Disney, but the problem is you're never going to fit them all into your first vacation. And trying to do so will turn what should be a very magical experience into a very stressful one. As soon as you say that you're going to Disney World, every family member and friend is going to become a Disney expert, and they're going to tell you exactly what you have to do while you're at Disney. The problem with that is not every family vacations the same. Some families want to get up at the crack of dawn, head to the parks for rope drop, and stay until the fireworks. Other families want to do a half day in the parks and then maybe enjoy the pool and a nice dinner that evening. So there's no right or wrong, but what is important is that you don't overschedule your family to the point that you don't get to figure out what you like at Disney World. It's really important to give yourself time each day to explore the parks, see what's interesting to your family, what things may not be on a blog or on someone else's must-do, but that your family really loves. Disney is such a magical place. You're not going to be sad if you don't hit every single thing that there is to do. What will set you up for failure is overscheduling your family so that there's no downtime. There's no time for your kids to explore, no time to take a detour. That can be very stressful. I can't tell you how many times I walk through the parks and I see families rushing from place to place, fussing about how you have to get to a dining reservation or you're going to miss your Fastpass, when your child just might want to sit on the sidewalk and watch a parade go by. It's really important to make sure that you're allowing yourself time to truly experience Walt Disney World and not just check all the boxes. I realize that it's hard to know what you need to do when you're at Disney, and so that's where travel planners like myself can really come in and save the day, if you will. Glass Slipper Concierge has vacation planners that specialize in planning Disney travel. We know the parks in and out. We know how to make a day flow, especially based on what our clients are telling us they want to see and do while they're at Disney. Hiring a Disney expert to be your travel planner can take all of that worry off your plate and let you just enjoy the magic. We write a daily itinerary with step-by-step plans for touring the park. We'll add in suggestions of things you can do in your downtime. We'll tell you where the best Disney treat is and all of those fun extras that you may want to see while you're in the park. Your first Disney vacation is truly magical. There's nothing like walking down Main Street the first time and taking in all the sights and sounds. So it's really important that you allow yourself time to enjoy it and really make the most of a Walt Disney World vacation. I believe the magic that Disney brings to the world is exactly what we're all going to need this summer. It's been a long spring. Everyone's ready for a vacation, and no one does it better than Disney.
Hello, my name is Lisa, and I am a travel advisor with Market Square Travel Leaders in River Falls, Wisconsin. What's the biggest mistake a person can make when planning their first Disney vacation? I believe it's under planning. When you start to plan a Disney vacation, there is so much to think about. The flights, how you get from the resort to the airport, vice versa. What type of passes do you want to purchase? Do you want to purchase a dining plan? There are a lot of different components that go into planning Disney. For example, a lot of people don't even realize that Walt Disney World has 4 theme parks. First of all, hotels. Disney has several different hotels to choose from, ranging from a all-star experience to a moderate to a deluxe to a home away from home, and there's even a campground. What type of tickets do they want? Do they want to park hop between the parks? Or If they're going during the heat of the summer, maybe they want the Park Hopper Plus option, which gives them access to the water parks. Do they want to golf while they're there? There's 18-hole golf courses, and there's also mini golf. Dining is a huge important part of this trip. You want to set up some dining reservations, especially for the character dining. Imagine your kids being so disappointed and not being able to eat with one of their favorite characters. There are character dining options throughout the resorts and throughout the 4 different theme parks. If your clients are going during the fall or Christmas, you want to make sure that you talk to them about the events going on. 2 of my favorite, Disney's Very Merry Christmas Party and Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Did you know you need a special event ticket to go to these parties? And lastly, I want to point out a few things for the younger kids. Can you imagine your little girl seeing all these other little girls walking around the theme parks dressed up as princesses with their hair done, their cute dresses, and then their sash, and the cast members are referring to them as princesses? Your child would be so disappointed. And so making advanced reservations for some of these attractions like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique is a definite.
Hello, this is Jennifer Novotny from Upon a Star Travel and Concierge, and I'm here to answer the question, what is the biggest mistake a person can make when planning their first Disney vacation? And that question has so many facets to it, and in some ways it's hard to pick a, quote, biggest mistake because, as you may know from preliminary research or if you read blogs and boards and everything else, there is so much information out there that's overwhelming. And not only that, but you get conflicting information. One person says this, well, my friend said I should go here, and they said I have to do this, and your experience isn't worth it if you can't X, Y, and Z. I think, though, and might sound strange as somebody who, for a living, plans Disney travel, the biggest mistake is over planning. And let me clarify this a little bit. So it is highly important to have plans when you go. You need those dining reservations. You need those Fastpass reservations. You need to make them at the earliest possible, window to get what you want. Because yes, there is a Disney experience that you're looking for. I am sure that there is something in your head that you just have always imagined and dreamed about when going to Disney. Maybe you have a little girl and that's the princess experience, or maybe you have a little boy and they want all the Jedi and the Star Wars. But regardless, you have to plan those at the earliest time, but you also want to leave some space for the magic. So let's just imagine for a moment that you're walking into the Magic Kingdom for the very, very, very first time, and you have your fast passes and you have your dining and you have all of that ready to go, and you're like, okay, at 9 a.m. we're going to go to Haunted Mansion, and then we're going to go to this, and then we're going to go to this, and you have your day planned out and scheduled, and you are feeling rushed and you're feeling stressed because you want to get your money's worth and you have to have this special Disney experience. The fact is, if you are running around like that, you're going to miss a lot of the magic. So you walk into Main Street, rather than just rushing off to the first attraction, take a look around. Those little ones' eyes are going to light up with wonder at the amount of just the color and the sound. And there are characters meeting so often on Main Street. Then you have those Main Street vehicles that drive up and down the street. And you might be like, okay, that's a horse-drawn carriage, or that's just a double-decker bus. But there's something so whimsical about it, something so magical as you're just kind of crowd watching and looking. And you don't want to be afraid to stop and smell the roses, so to speak, because there are so many details that are just hidden that you'll never find if you don't go explore. If you're so focused on writing absolutely everything or whatever, you might miss some of those cast member interactions, just interacting with the people on Main Street, or they call the citizens of Main Street, or even some of the other cast members around the park. You might miss what could be one of the most memorable parts of your trip. And so that's why I always encourage people, make a plan. And sure, maybe you're somebody who likes to plan. Okay, I like to have a schedule. It really helps me. Absolutely, go ahead and make it. But don't be afraid to adjust it, because sometimes things that you think are throwaway might be some of the most magical memories you end up having. I'm going to give you another example. So Tom Sawyer Island over in the Magic Kingdom, and I'm focusing a lot on that just because there are so many details there, and that's what everybody thinks of as classic Disney. As a child, you're like, okay, we have to go over, there's this island, there's no rides. What do you mean there's no rides? I have some of the best memories running around, exploring those caves, exploring the little fort area with my sister. So I actually love Tom Sawyer Island now. I have such fond memories of it. And that's not something that everybody thinks of as a must-do. Another one for me is, as simple as it is, and this is not everybody's, not everyone's jam, so to speak, is the Swiss Family Treehouse. And again, as a child, I have such great memories walking through that with my family. My husband has memories and actually photos of his family touring the Swiss Family Treehouse. Those are simple. Typically, I'm a thrill ride girl, but there is just something about that where it's just so much fun. And I'll even see family sometimes experiencing it. And I think, I'm so glad they took the time to do this rather than just running from place to place to place to place, because there are things that you'll miss if you do that. And, lots of different perspectives on that. But what I like to recommend to my clients is let's get your must-dos. Let's make sure we plan those. Let's make sure we have a strategy to get on this ride and this ride. And we'll try to get a fast pass for these so that everybody's must-dos are taken care of so you don't have to stress about them. And then anything else you get to is the icing on the cake. Well, make sure you get your must-dos, but then experience the parks, experience all that Disney has to offer. Take your time touring. If it's Animal Kingdom, do those trails. Go, take time to do the Wilderness Explorers and to sit down and see the shows. And you know what? To relax at the pools, because those resorts are gorgeous. They're absolutely beautiful. You don't want to miss those. You're paying for a beautiful location, so you might as well enjoy it. And you don't want to come home so absolutely exhausted that you have only memories of that exhaustion. Yes, Disney can be tiring, but if you take it in chunks, if you prioritize, and if you allow yourself the time that you need, then you will make that so much more magical for yourself, so much more memorable. And at the end of the day, I think you'll have a better experience. It's been such an honor to answer this question on this podcast, and I'm happy to be part of it. Once again, this is Jennifer Novotny from Upon a Star Travel and Concierge, and we design magical memories for people. That's our slogan. That's what we do. We want you to make memories with your family. And we really specialize in that. And via Disney Travel, we do Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, Adventures by Disney, which is actually one of my favorite things ever, and also Aulani, which is the Disney resort in Hawaii. In addition, we plan other types of travel, but we really specialize in being that concierge service for you to help guide you through all of the questions that you have, to be your one-stop shop. We love just becoming close with our clients and knowing and understanding your needs so that you have the best possible experience. If we can be of any service to you, we would be happy to. We have several different agents to choose from. So someone who might work very, very well with your family, you can always read bios on our website, but it would be a pleasure to assist you in planning your magical vacation. And I hope you have a magical day.
I'm Pam Forrester from the Magic for Less Travel, and I want to talk about some of the mistakes we see guests make when planning their Disney vacation. And I hope that this will help you avoid these pitfalls when you plan your next vacation. One of the biggest mistakes that we see is that guests think that they need to see and do it all to have a great vacation. But a vacation is so much more than a checklist of items on a to-do list. I once saw a family with a very detailed printed schedule of their daily activities when they were on vacation. They were sitting in front of us on Pirates of the Caribbean, so I was able to see this printed schedule as they discussed it while we were on the attraction. It was detailed, down to the minute detailed, like 9:38 Pirates of the Caribbean, 9:55 bathroom break, 10:15 snack. And while I'm sure they managed to get things done, I think the schedule became more important than the fun. And I don't know that they really enjoyed their vacation like they could have. The fact that they were reviewing the schedule while actually on the attraction and essentially missing this Disney masterpiece was a pretty good indicator that they may have missed the point of their vacation. We don't want you to be that guy. Now, that's not to say that you don't need a plan. You do. And working with an experienced travel professional can help you make sure that you create an individualized plan just for you. You'll want to choose a resort and ticket options that can help meet your needs. You'll want to take advantage of available discounts and promotions to help save money. And you'll want to understand the things that can help you spend less time waiting in line, like Extra Magic Hour and Fastpass. Your plan may also consider vacation options like Memory Maker and the dining plans to see if those work for you. But you also don't need to schedule every moment of your vacation. And your plan should include things that you like to do. If your idea of a great vacation includes a romantic meal at California Grill during the fireworks, include that in your plan. You may want to schedule a Fastpass to meet Mickey so that you can have that photo of your whole family together with the mouse. If you don't enjoy thrill rides, don't just do them to do them. Don't include them in your plan. You'll find plenty of other attractions to enjoy. And if you love Star Wars, schedule extra time in your plan to visit Galaxy's Edge so you can just soak up the atmosphere. It's key to create a plan full of the things that you enjoy. And also, that plan should include a little downtime and time for relaxation. You are on vacation after all. Make time to enjoy the pool or enjoy some of those recreational activities at your resort. But even after you've created that awesome plan, you also need to be flexible. It's okay to give yourself permission to change or even abandon the plan. The one thing that you don't want to miss in your plan are the opportunities to create those memories and enjoy the people that you are with. Don't build in the expectation that you have to do and see it all to enjoy your vacation. Enjoy each moment, whether you are following your plan or checking things off that checklist or just enjoying some unexpected magic. Don't think about what you aren't doing, but focus on what you are doing. Because a vacation is about the people you are with, the experiences you have together, and the memories you make. If you would like assistance in planning your next Disney, Universal cruise, or other leisure vacation, reach out to us at the Magic for Less Travel. We would love to be your partner in planning. Since 2002, our travel counselors have used a guest-centered approach to vacation planning. We know that each guest is different, and each guest has a different list of wants and needs for their vacation. We're a universal specialist and one of the few agencies in the world to be recognized by Disney as a platinum earmarked travel agency. But we're not just destination experts. We're fans, too. We have stayed at all the resorts and sailed on all the ships and experienced these adventures. We'll help you take advantage of our firsthand knowledge and all of our insider tips and tricks, and we'll work together to create a unique, personalized vacation plan so you have the opportunity to create those unforgettable vacation memories.
I hope all of those opinions about scheduling and planning a vacation were helpful. To wrap things up, I have Melissa from Travel Leaders talking about something she calls the Fastpass Shuffle.
Hey everyone, this is Melissa Gooding with Travel Leaders. Thank you to Disney Coast to Coast for having me on. The biggest mistake a person can make when planning their first Disney vacation is the Fastpass Shuffle. Yep, the shuffle. Planning a Disney vacation can be overwhelming, and when you start to realize just how many amazing and magical things there are to see and do, you just want to do it all. You want to try and do everything. Taking the time to plan out your day is absolutely important and necessary to navigate it all. Planning those things together so it makes sense is actually even better. For example, If you want to ride Snow White's Mine Train ride and you also want to eat breakfast at Be Our Guest, all happening in the Magic Kingdom, it does make sense to pull a Fastpass reservation around the same time as your breakfast reservation. And then that way, when you walk out from eating breakfast, you can walk right onto the ride, and it's all in the same area, which is Fantasyland, at the Magic Kingdom. On those hot summer days in Florida, the last thing you want to do is hurry up and wait on one side of the park to then shuffle, and hurry up to the other side of the park for your next Fastpass reservation. What you don't really plan on is the middle, that middle stuff, the good stuff. The middle is where the magic lies. These are those in-between moments that you don't plan for and are sometimes the moments that you remember most. So instead of shuffling and filling your day with unnecessary Fastpass reservations, take the time to reserve Fastpasses that make more sense so you don't miss the middle, the in-between, the good stuff. The magic that Disney is so well known for creating. Again, this is Melissa with Travel Leaders, and I'm here from our Dream Team specializing in all things Disney travel. Our team has visited all the parks, sailed on all the Disney Cruise Line ships, and have adventured together on many Adventures by Disney vacations. Our website is tvlleaders.com, and we can't wait to help you travel better.
Thanks to all of the advisors who came on the show to share their thoughts. As you heard, a lot of the advisors talk about how important it is to plan, but not plan too much. Being educated on Disney is a great way to prepare yourself for a Disney vacation. So if you haven't already, I encourage you all to subscribe to Disney Coast to Coast, that's Disney with a Z, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more of your favorite podcast listening platforms. There are literally hundreds of episodes available to you, often giving free knowledge about Disney vacations. I also want to mention one thing for you first-time Disney vacationers. This may sound like common sense to a lot of people, but I've been quite surprised by my friend who works in Disney guest relations when he tells me this. Apparently, there are a lot of Disney guests who believe that the only Disney guest relations is in City Hall in Disneyland Park and Magic Kingdom Park. He's told me stories about how guests have been at Epcot and needed to speak with someone at guest relations, so they trekked over to Magic Kingdom, sometimes even upgrading to a park hopper ticket, just to speak with guest relations. This has really happened, folks. To all of you listening, please know that there is a guest relations office near the entrance of every Disney park you visit. They may not be as obvious as City Hall, but you never need to park hop to get your concern resolved or question answered. I hope that's helpful to someone listening. Now folks, if you haven't listened to this past Wednesday's episode of Disney Coast to Coast, be sure to tune in as we celebrated this year's graduates with a Disneyland Resort Yearbook Superlatives list. And on next Wednesday's episode of Disney Coast to Coast, Adam Wachter, the music director of Disney Plus's Encore, returns to the show to discuss Stephen Sondheim and the work he's done for Disney. If you're not familiar with that name, you'll certainly want to tune in. And folks, if you're looking for Disney Coast to Coast bonus content, including early episode releases and live stream Q&As, head on over to patreon.com/DisneyCTC. Becoming a member of the DCTC community at any level helps ensure free future episodes. That's patreon.com/DIZNEYCTC. Other than that, folks, have a magical day. Bye!
Thanks for listening to Disney Coast to Coast. Have a magical day.
Disney Coast to Coast is produced and hosted by Jeff DePauli. Learn more about the podcast and become a supporter at DisneyCoastToCoast.com.